What is going on, community? What is going on, people of Earth? Welcome back to the Flash by Night channel, and welcome back to Transformers Tuesday. Today we are going to get into issue number 3 of Marvel's Transformers, featuring Spider-Man. So in issue number 2, we left off with the Decepticons kidnapping Sparkplug Witwicky, which is Buster Witwicky's father. Buster Witwicky is kind of our POV character, our main friend of the Autobots to start off the book. His father is a mechanic, but also apparently very well versed in energy and energy transformation of some sort. But the Decepticons basically kidnapped Sparkplug because Sparkplug has the ability to change regular human fuel into the special fuel that the Transformers need to operate. And so we open up with Starscream basically bringing Sparkplug back to Megatron, which is pretty funny. It leads to a nice exchange between Megatron and Starscream. Starscream is kind of sarcastic, and Megatron is already catching on to Starscream's sarcasm, to counter Starscream's schemes and plots, and he already knows what Starscream is thinking, while Starscream is thinking of how to sometime in the future overthrow Megatron. And that's kind of been a running thread through these first 3 issues, which you'd expect if you're an old school Transformers fan. But what we also get is the Autobots along with Buster and Buster's 2 friends who end up staying behind. But they are planning on finding the Decepticons and finding Sparkplug. And also, we see that now the human populace at large has finally been confronted with the Transformers, and now humanity knows about these robots that turn into vehicles, who have pretty much invaded their planet and are about to start a war. And while it's not necessarily a secret war, I thought that it was pretty funny that that ad is in the middle of this book. We get humans and also some of our Marvel characters who are now involved, who have become aware of these Transformers on Earth. They don't know what the conflict is, of course. They just see robots transforming from the outside, and they want to see what the threat is. And then we have our first Marvel character or characters who are reacting to the Transformers. And even though Spider-Man is on the cover, the first characters to actually react to the Transformers are Dum Dum Dugan and Nick Fury. Quite a twist, quite a twist. And then of course we do get Spider-Man getting ready to suit up, and he's supposed to be going to get pictures. Of course, he's Peter Parker, but he's going to suit up so he can get closer and do his Spider-Man thing and figure out what is going on. And his first contact ends up being with the Autobot Gears, and you know, they have to do the whole thing where when 2 good guys kind of meet each other, they've got to feel each other out, make sure neither one is evil before they help each other out. And that's what happens. And then of course we have Spider-Man trying to figure out how to help the Autobots get past the military who has found out where the Decepticons are holed up, because they basically made a big fortress in Oregon. You can't miss it. And Spider-Man does the most Spider-Man thing ever, where he basically steals a soldier's helmet, puts it on himself, and takes the Autobot Jeep Hound. There we go. He takes Hound and goes to the front of the line, and with a helmet on, as if he's not actually dressed as Spider-Man with a helmet on, but with an army helmet on, he tells the other soldiers that a officer told him to come through with his convoy, and so he kind of just drives on with the Autobot. He and Gears basically go and try and invade the fortress, while the rest of the Autobots kind of distract Megatron's forces. And here, I really had to think about how strong Spider-Man is, because at one point Gears kind of falls down and Spider-Man catches him with his web, and at first I thought that shouldn't be possible, but we see all the time in books and in media that Spider-Man is catching cars and catching trucks and things like that, so I really had to rethink that. But he and Gears basically come in, make the save, they wrap up Megatron, they get they get Sparkplug with Wiki, but as you see, Megatron kind of blasts a hole in the ground so that Spider-Man and Sparkplug and Gears falls through it, and even though he tries to, Spider-Man cannot catch Gears this time, and Gears basically hits the ground. And Spider-Man thinks that Gears is dead. The Autobots are not so sure, but we finally get to the last pages where Optimus and Spider-Man talk, and Optimus kind of does the heroic thing, takes accountability, but says that things may be alright, and Spider-Man says that if the rest of the Autobots are as brave and heroic as Gears is, then they should be just fine. Basically kind of giving the Marvel red carpet to the Autobots and to the Transformers at large, basically. But what we get in the very end is we get two things. We get Gears Gears is awake, barely functioning, but awake, and trying to tell everyone about Megatron. And in the meanwhile, Sparkplug tells Buster that Megatron got what he wanted. And so we leave off issue number 3 with Megatron and the Decepticons basically having won round 1 of what I'll call the Energy Wars. And so we'll have to see what happens in issue number 4. Of course, it started off as I think a 4-issue limited series. So I assume issue number 4 is going to be pretty action-packed and have a kind of explosive ending to it. So I am excited to see what's in issue number 4. But for me, that wraps up issue number 3 of Marvel's Transformers. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you saw something you liked. If you did enjoy yourself, go ahead, hit that like button. And if you want to keep up with me, keeping up with the Transformers, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Of course, feel free to leave comments. And I do have a question. So we have a Spider-Man and Nick Fury and Dum Dum Dugan crossover with the Transformers. Is this the only Marvel crossover with the Transformers in these books? It kind of dawned on me that I bought issue number 27 of G.I. Joe, which is way off subject, just because I knew that some kid mentioned Moon Knight in a mall in the book. So I'm wondering how much these non-Marvel characters, if we could call them that, interact with your traditional Spider-Man and Captain America and Iron Man and people of that nature. I don't know. I wonder if you know, if you have any insight, any clues, any ideas, drop them down in the comment section for me. But as we always do at this time, love yourself, love others, and I will be back in a flash.